how Michael Jordan and Nike built a $3 billion empire by breaking the rules, and what this teaches you about your online coaching business. So we're in the 1980s, right? The era of big hair, neon colors everywhere, people are doing aerobics and leg warmers, and young people are becoming obsessed with arcades, and the king of pop moonwalking on everybody and making people faint just with his aura. Insane times to be alive. But while all of this was going on in the early 80s, the NBA was absolutely not ready for what was about to happen. Michael Jordan's arrival in 1984. Here is something most people don't know about Michael Jordan's story. He didn't want to sign with Nike originally. Like any normal basketball fan, he wanted Adidas, like that was the cool brand back then, right? But they just kept ignoring him. So Nike comes in like a desperate underdog. But very quickly, they managed to make a deal with Michael Jordan by giving him equity in his own shoe line. And mind you, back then that was unheard of. Like athletes did not get equity deals. That was not normal. But Nike was so desperate to get into basketball, they were like, you know what? Screw it, okay? Let's just give a chance to this young rookie. And Jordan is like, all right, fine, let's do it. But I don't think he had any idea he was about to help create the most valuable athlete brand in history. But this is where it gets really interesting, and this is the part where every single owner of an online coaching business should really pay attention to. Nike designed their Air Jordan 1s in black and red, knowing that they would break the NBA's rules. Because the league said that the players could not have red on their shoes, and Nike knew this, so yeah, they will get banned. But instead of changing the design of their shoes like most people will do, they just used it as their entire marketing strategy. So Nike and NBA made a deal. Every single time Michael Jordan steps on the court with those shoes, Nike will have to pay $5 grand. Simple. So when you think about it, they were literally paying a fine to break the rules. So Nike is basically like, no, you won't stop. And they had this genius idea. They turned this dress code rule into a global movement that presented Air Jordan as something that's banned and rebellious, giving that little edge, that edgy side that people loved and wanted to be associated with. And they also went as far as to create this legendary commercial that's called Banned by the NBA.
On September 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe. On October 18th, the NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them. Air Jordans from Nike.
Basically telling basketball fans, especially young basketball fans, like, look, the establishment doesn't want you to have these shoes. But with the way they've done it, they created a cool factor and a movement of people who weren't afraid of breaking the rules, just like Nike with the NBA. So then more people bought those shoes, and Nike made millions and millions of dollars, and today they're worth billions of dollars. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was a brilliant marketing tactic that changed the marketing world forever. And today you cannot even spend an hour in the city without seeing someone with those shoes. So now I want to go over the main lesson of this video, and to be honest, this can be applied to any business in the world. But because I'm a marketer and copywriter for online coaches, I want to speak to online coaches, right? If you have an online coaching business, this is specifically for you. It's the fact that Nike proved that being different, being unique, being authentic can make you way more money than just playing it safe. So while Converse and Adidas were just not breaking any rules and just making some white shoes and making traditional marketing, Nike was playing to win. And that's why 40 years later, Jordan's brand is still printing money. Before Air Jordan, every basketball shoe company was just copying the brands that were already making a lot of money and didn't add their own personality to it. So of course, everyone looked the same, sounded the same, and marketed the same way. And that is pretty much the same thing that's happening in the online coaching space right now. So most people just follow the same personal brands, the same gurus with a bunch of followers, create the same type of professional content, same ad scripts, pretty much just follow the same rules, all trying to look legitimate, but they just end up looking like everyone else. Like, how can you stand out when you just act like everyone else, right? Like giving more value. Everybody gives more value, but giving more value can only work if you do it in your own way, with your own personality, that you own your personality, your identity. And remember, when you sound and look like everyone else, the only way you can stand out is by the price, but that's where you lose. If there is another coach just like you who gives a 20% discount, just like that, you lost. Now we have social media telling everyone how to be trendy or how to play it safe and be socially validated. So now we have less and less people who are actually being themselves, but they still admire those who refuse to play in other people's rules and are authentic. So the new currency in the online coaching space, even just life in general actually, it's authenticity. Like once they relate with who you are or admire who you are, you just respect who you are, you'll bypass a lot of their objections. Like they will be the type of client to book a sales call with you and already be ready to buy your coaching program. And if you have an upsell, they will be more willing to spend money on it. And that's because what you represent is bigger than money. It's a game that's played in the intangible. Not only was Nike embracing the identity that they were given by being those who break the rules, but they were also asking themselves, what do our customers want? So they built a brand that represented them and also stood for something. So your brand identity, please don't think it's just for marketing purposes, all right? It's also the survival strategy of your business. Because like I said earlier, nowadays, everyone sounds like everyone, right? So being authentically different is not just an advantage, it's literally everything, because if you follow this principle, nobody can beat you. You are being yourself, you have no competition. And there are coaches whose marketing content help them break through, but it's not because they're more skilled than others. They're just the ones who are brave enough to show their real personality and build a brand around it that people can connect with and remember. Like, they don't care if their messaging or their marketing doesn't relate with millions of people, because that's not the goal. And also, that's not necessary to print money. Like, they don't care if their marketing is too niche, because it's going to land to the right people. When your coaching business has a real identity, like your personal brand has a real identity, and you're not scared to show it to the world, the wrong people self-cut out. And the right people, those who really want to work with you, you become magnetic to them. And all of this is projected through your copywriting. And all of the small details that you add in your marketing, your content, your storytelling to make people understand who you truly are. And also, I'm curious, let me know in the comments what your brand, your coaching business stands for. So look, I wanted to make this video about Michael Jordan and Nike to make you understand the importance of having an identity for your brand, to embrace it and be authentic, because this can bring you so many more clients than you may think. And in case you do it, to make sure that you stop copying the gurus like everyone else is doing. The only way copying other successful coaches can work in your favor is if you know how to twist it in your own way by using your own identity. Like with the mentality of Nike in the 80s, if they were to copy Nike with their white shoes, they will still do it in a way that breaks the rules. Not necessarily breaking the rules of the NBA, it can also be breaking the rules of how most shoe company market their shoes. And that's how they will stand out and make way more money. Like, by the way, if you can add your own sauce and make it look like it never came out of someone else's idea, then you're good. So start embracing what makes you different. And if you're already doing it, perfect. So think about your weird quirks, your personal stories, this one is huge by the way, and also your unique ways of explaining things. And never confuse it for being unprofessional. This is just you sharing your own light with your target audience, okay? So that's your competitive edge. Like, the coaches out there who are printing money every day are not necessarily the most qualified, they're just the most memorable. Like, they're the ones that people actually want to spend time with. So people can copy your marketing strategy, your content topics, your funnel, your coaching offer, but they can't copy who you actually are. They can't copy your authentic self. So remember that. So by now, I hope you understand that Nike didn't make millions and millions of dollars by selling shoes. They did it by selling an identity. They know how to picture an identity of the person that the target audience actually wants to become in the future by using the right words. So if you need help using this principle to bring more clients inside of a coaching business ASAP, go down in the description and book a one-on-one call with me. And also, if you're conscious that you have gaps in your sales funnel and you need someone to fix them ASAP, or you just want someone to give you an audit of your whole marketing system, you can book a call with me. And when I speak about gaps in your sales funnel, it can be the automation of your backend system, email marketing, content script, ad script, webinar funnel, sales pages, landing pages, and way more. Or simply grab my free book where I give you 3 powerful sales funnels to help you get more viewers of your social media content to become buyers of your coaching program. And I'll also show you step by step the full breakdown of a sales funnel that's making over $300K per month for a guru online. It's all in my free book. Anyway, that's it for this video. So like, subscribe, and comment. And if you don't have anything to comment, just tell me how was your day, okay? Did you have a good day, a bad day? Let me know. Or just tell me the values that represent your brand, your coaching business. And make sure to share this video with someone who you think is going to benefit from the value that I shared with you in this video. All right, it's getting really dark, so love, positivity, take care, hasta luego, à la prochaine. Ciao.